This one is very contentious.
A completely vegan diet is actually challenging nutritionally.
Definitely wash your chicken.
There's probably no benefit at all to having gluten-free products. I know that's not the answer you want to hear. My name's Dr. Anita Star. I am the head of Nutrition and Dietetics at Charles Darwin University here in Darwin.
So I'm Francheska, I'm from the Philippines, and I'm currently studying in the Masters of Dietetics program here at CDU.
So we're just doing a quick exercise in this or that food and potentially what's better for your health. Sometimes there's going to be a really clean, nice, clear answer, and sometimes it really does depend. So we'll see how it pans out.
Coke versus Coke with no sugar.
Yeah, well, this is a really interesting one. I know people would love a right answer, but actually they're both pretty appalling. I think we need to get rid of the soft drinks and the cola drinks, whether they've got sugar or artificial sweetener.
For someone with diabetes, a Coke no sugar would probably be the better option. But honestly, neither is ideal. Opt for water as your main drink instead.
Gosh, if we can wean you off the Coke altogether, you really would be better off. I know that's not the answer you want to hear.
Low carb diet versus low fat diet. I would say neither. Fats and carbs are essential macronutrients in the body. For example, fats help absorb fat-soluble vitamins, while carbs are the primary source of energy for the body. So you need a combination of your fats, protein, and your carbs in every single meal.
If you miss carbs, you start missing other essential nutrients as well. So people have to be really careful. I hope that it's kind of phased out now, but a trend that I saw for a little while working in children and kids' health was actually whole families taking on a low carb kind of diet fad, which is quite concerning to me. Yeah, kids need carbs to grow and they need that balanced nutrition. So, for example, there's essential fat-soluble vitamins that you actually need fat to absorb some of those vitamins. So if you go completely, no fat diet, then you're going to start missing out on some important nutrients.
So this one, it depends. So I'm actually lactose intolerant and I enjoy soy milk with added calcium as this fits my needs.
Someone who does a lot of exercise, got really high energy requirements, then the whole milk's going to be way better for them. If someone's needing to manage their weight and prevent weight gain, then perhaps a low fat option like the skim milk might be better for them.
I would say oat milk as a personal preference due to the taste, as almond milk has that watery taste that people don't normally enjoy. But I would say that soy milk is closer to the nutritional profile of full cream milk, so I would say to go with that instead. And also when you're choosing alternative milks, to have calcium fortified ones.
Yeah, vegan versus meat-based. Okay, well, a balanced diet which includes meat is probably going to be a great option with plenty of plant foods in it. A completely vegan diet is actually challenging nutritionally, and that doesn't mean you can't be vegan if you want to be, but I think it's a really good idea to be talking to your GP and your dietitian to make sure you have a balanced intake if you are a vegan. Chicken breast versus chicken thigh.
This one is very contentious, but I actually prefer chicken breast myself, but actually most prefer chicken thighs for the texture and taste.
I prefer the chicken thigh just from a taste and texture point of view. It's slightly higher in fat, whereas chicken breast can be a great option for grilling and that type of thing as well.
Okay, great. Are we supposed to wash our chicken?
Definitely wash your chicken.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so gluten-free versus gluten-containing foods. Well, it has become a bit of a thing in the last few years, gluten-free foods. And for people with celiac disease or with gluten intolerances, that's great that it's become a thing because there's more options for them. You still have to watch cross-contamination for those people and be following it kind of strictly, particularly if you've got celiac disease. Now, for people without those conditions, there's probably no benefit at all to having gluten-free products. And in fact, some of the gluten-free products, or many of the gluten-free products out there, they tend to do things to the product to make them taste better, like add more sugar than the gluten-containing options, or add more fats than the gluten-containing options. So you do have to be a little bit careful with some of those gluten-free options. They can be very energy and calorie dense, so Yeah, but obviously if you need it for allergy reasons, then stick to a gluten-free diet.
So dark chocolate versus milk chocolate.
Look, I'm probably not your typical nutritionist and dietitian because I'm a sucker for white chocolate. You know, health-wise, yes, dark probably wins. So all you dark chocolate lovers, continue.
I prefer dark chocolate myself, but most people prefer milk chocolate, but dark chocolate is higher in antioxidants and has flavonoids in them, which is, I can have it in small amounts then.
White versus whole grain? Well, I think that generally, I mean, it's pretty much accepted that whole grain's definitely going to be the better choice.
Whole grain bread every single time. It is higher in fibre than normal white bread, which is great for aiding digestion and maintaining steady blood glucose levels.
The whole grain's inside a dark variety of bread, so it looks brown with grains in it. That's probably going to be the ultimate best choice. But there are some people who just can't tolerate whole grain breads and they just will not have it. And so in that instance, choosing the white varieties with some added fibre is probably a good option. Fresh produce versus frozen produce?
I would say frozen. I stock up on frozen fruit and veg at home. They're not only budget friendly, but they're also very convenient. And in terms of accessibility, for those living in remote areas, this would be maybe more readily available for them.
Frozen can be really good nutritionally, and in fact, if you're not getting really fresh produce, then sometimes the frozen produce, which tends to be snap frozen as soon as they pick it, can actually nutritionally be a little bit better in terms of vitamin and mineral content, just because some vitamins deteriorate over time. So yeah, it depends if you want to go on taste or nutritional content. And the other thing is the huge cost of living crisis that we've got at the moment. Frozen can be a really great way for people to supplement their fruit and veggie intake. Coffee versus tea. Look, they're obviously the most two popular drinks worldwide, so very good question. I tend to, because I work long hours, tend to think about those energy peaks and troughs that come with concentration with a little bit of caffeine in coffee and tea. Coffee tends to be associated with these up and down peaks in your alertness and how you're feeling. So yes, you do get that nice coffee buzz, but then you can crash down, so it can cause a bit of that going on through the day. Tea tends to increase your alertness and keep it more stable through the day, so it might be better from that point of view. Both have health benefits. I would say if you are pregnant or planning to be pregnant, really be careful on your overall caffeine intake and talk to your doctor about that.